My name is Kate, and my heart is breaking into pieces today. I'm sitting in our bedroom staring at the empty picture frame on the dresser that once held our happy photo. Now, it's empty, and every time I look at it, my heart breaks into 1,000 pieces over and over again. Jack was my support, my everything. We met in college and immediately became inseparable. His eyes were always full of tenderness and love. We planned everything together: future, travel, family. But somehow our dreams turned into hell and I don't recognize my husband anymore. Today I found a message in his phone. At first I thought it was a mistake. Maybe it was a humorous correspondence with a friend, but the more I read, the more I understood that this is not true. He found himself in bed with another woman, and not once, but over the course of several months. Every word I read was like a stab in the back. "Kate, you should know, I love you, but it just happened," he wrote. "How can you love someone and betray? How can you so painfully betray someone who gave you everything?" These questions swirl in my head, but they have no answers. I tried to talk to him, but Jack just stayed silent. There are no words to justify what he did. His silence was even more painful than any verbal altercation. He betrayed not only my trust, but also my heart. Now I sit here, and every corner of our house reminds me of the time when I was happy. Every object, everything is filled with memories that now cause only pain. I started looking at old photos of us smiling, and I cry because I know that nothing will ever be the same. Jack destroyed everything we built together. I don't know what will happen next. I'm trying to collect my thoughts, to understand how to continue living. Maybe I'll find the strength to go on, but right now I just feel emptiness and tears that don't stop. My days became a real horror. Every morning I wake up in the same void that Jack left behind. I try to adjust to the daily rhythm of life, but everything around reminds me of how things went wrong. Yesterday I decided to check his email. I know it's not entirely fair, but I was overcome with desperation and the need to learn more. There I found even more evidence of his betrayal, all those promises he wrote to another woman. Their plans, their dreams. They were so close to ours that I could hardly breathe because of the pain. It's like Jack decided to steal a part of our future and give it to someone else. Now I ask myself, how could I not notice this before? I remember how he became colder, how he began to avoid my eyes and communication. But I refused to believe that something was wrong. How could you believe that this was true? How could I be so naive? In the evening, I decided to talk to his parents. They have always been a second family to me, and I thought I could find support in them. But when I told them what had happened, their reaction was far from what I had hoped for. They were just silent, not knowing what to say. It was another blow. It turned out that they also knew about his infidelity, but didn't know how to tell me about it. Now I feel like I'm stuck in a maze. There is no way out, and every turn only leads to new painful disappointments. I don't know how to continue living. Every day, every night is filled with emptiness and pain. All the plans, dreams, and hopes I had disappeared in an instant. Today I found another thing in our house that reminded me of Jack's betrayal, his old notebook. It had all our plans together, but the last pages were filled with entries about another woman. It was the final blow. It was like he was laughing in my face even after he left. I'm trying to find the strength to go on with my life, but all I feel is anxiety and pain. How can you forget all this? How can you rebuild your life after your deepest feelings have been neglected? There is only one thing left for me: to try to find at least some part of myself that is still capable of feeling joy and love. But even this small part seems lost in all this hopeless darkness. Days pass, and I begin to feel my world slowly falling apart. With each new day, I immerse myself in the memories of how things used to be, and I can't help but think that something will never come back. My life has turned into an endless routine. I wake up, try to work, but every step only deepens my pain. I began to avoid places that were previously associated with Jack. They remind me of how my dreams were shattered. The restaurant where we celebrated our anniversaries, the park where he first confessed his love to me. Now it all became only a source of pain. I can no longer enjoy these places because every bit of them reminds me of something that is no longer there. After much thought, I decided to move out of our shared home. It wasn't easy, but I knew I had to find a new place where I could try to start from scratch. I found a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. She was modest, but there was something about her that allowed me to feel at least a fraction of peace. The move was difficult and tiring. I spent several days packing up my things and trying to get rid of everything that reminded me of Jack. But even in a new place, I feel his presence. These are not just physical things. It's the feeling that infidelity and betrayal were a part of me, and I can't just forget them. I started looking for help. Psychotherapy became my only lifeline. It gave me the opportunity to talk about my feelings and keep my emotions under control. But even with this help, I can't forget all those moments when Jack was my world. I'm trying to find meaning in life again. By visiting new places, meeting new people, I hope I can recover a part of myself that I lost. But every new step is filled with fear and uncertainty. I fear that I will never be able to go back to normal and that my heart will remain broken forever. In the evenings, I often go for walks in the park near my new apartment. It helps me relax and forget about the pain a little. One day, when I was sitting on a bench and watching the sunset, I met an old friend, Mike. He was a good listener and always knew how to encourage. We talked about my problems and he asked if I could come to him anytime I needed support. I felt that all is not lost and maybe there is a chance to find a new way. But every time I wake up in the morning, my mind goes back to Jack's betrayal and all the pain he caused. I still can't completely let go of these memories, and each new day seems like another struggle to recover. But maybe with time, I will be able to find the strength and try to believe in love and happiness again. After a few weeks in the new apartment, I began to notice that my heart was not so heavy, at least partially. I became more open to new possibilities and tried to find joy in everyday little things. Maybe it was a sign that I was starting to recover, even though the pain would never go away completely. Mike, my old friend, supported me as much as he could. We talked more often, and his friendship became more and more important to me. He was a good listener and always knew how to cheer up. I felt that his presence could become part of my new beginning. One day, Mike invited me to a party his friend was hosting. I was hesitant, but he assured me that it would be a good way to meet new people and take my mind off everything that had happened. I agreed, hoping it would help me deal with the anxiety I was feeling. The party did not go as I expected. The people were friendly and fun, but I couldn't fully relax. I noticed one man in the crowd. His name was Alex. He was focused and calm, but something in his eyes reminded me of something familiar. He approached me and started a conversation. We talked about different things, and I felt that, at least for a while, I could forget about my pain. Alex was an interesting interlocutor. He didn't try to be pushy, and his respect for me made me feel like I still deserved to be treated well. When the party was over, we exchanged phone numbers and arranged to meet for coffee. It was a new venture, and I decided to give it a chance. The next week, I met Alex in a cozy cafe. An interesting conversation started between us, and I felt that I could be myself without fear. His sincerity and kindness reminded me that life can also be about joy and humanity. Almost simultaneously with the beginning of this new friendship, I was again thrown into emotional turmoil when I received a call from Jack's parents. They wanted me to come to a family dinner to talk about the possibility of settling some of the issues that had remained unresolved since our divorce. It was difficult for me, but I decided to leave to put an end to this chapter of my life. Dinner was tense. Jack didn't show up, but his parents apologized and offered help. I felt confused, not knowing if I could forgive them for what had happened. When I returned home, my heart was once again heavy with memories and emotions. But now I try to be stronger and look for positive moments in every day. Alex and Mike have become important parts of my new life, and I hope I can find new strength and inspiration in them. I don't know what the future holds for me yet, but I'm trying to be open to new opportunities and give my heart a chance to find joy again. It's been a month since I came to Jack's parents for a family dinner. That evening became a kind of summary for me, an attempt to end a difficult chapter and start a new one. I felt that my heart needed more than just repair. It needed a new hope, a new beginning. Alex continued to be a part of my life, and I found his company really comforting. We often met, walked around the city, and spent time together. He didn't rush me, he didn't pressure me, and he didn't try to fill the void left by Jack. Instead, he was just there, and that was important to me. One day, while walking in the park, Alex suggested doing something special. We went to a small town nearby, which was famous for its picturesque views and cozy cafes. It was the day I felt relaxed and happy for the first time in a long time. We just enjoyed the moments together, without the shadow of the past. But again, just as I began to feel confident, an unexpected reminder of the past burst into my life. Jack texted me. It was a simple and short message in which he apologized and offered to meet. My heart beat faster again when I read his message. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to close this chapter once and for all, but another part needed to understand why he was reaching out to me now. I decided to agree to the meeting. We met in a coffee shop where I often went with Alex. Jack arrived looking tired and broken. He apologized and explained that he understood that he had caused me a lot of pain. His words seemed sincere, but I knew that words cannot heal wounds. He said that it was difficult for him to come to terms with what he had done and that he is trying to correct his mistakes. I listened to him, but I couldn't find the strength to believe that it could change anything. My heart was already broken, and while I appreciate his apologies, they can't bring back what I've lost. We talked about the past, but I could no longer continue this conversation. I got up and left, leaving Jack's world behind. Alex, when he found out about my meeting with Jack, supported me. He was disappointed but understood that this was part of my recovery process. I tried to be open with him, and he always helped me through these difficult moments. I may not have all the answers yet, but I have begun to understand that my happiness depends on me, not what others have done. I try to focus on the present moment, on what I can do for myself to regain a sense of the fullness of life. Alex and my new hobbies are helping me find my way to happiness, and I hope this is the start of something new. Little by little, life began to improve. I felt that I could breathe again and find joy in simple things. Alex became a stable support for me. We spent more time together, and his presence helped me recover. I even started drawing again, a hobby that had once been a great source of joy for me. My day began to look different. I woke up with hope for the best, worked, met Alex, and enjoyed my new life. I learned to treat myself with more patience and openness to change. However, my past experience did not leave me alone. One evening, when I was sitting at my drawing, I received a letter from a lawyer. It said that Jack had applied for the division of joint property. Anxiety gripped me. I tried not to think about it, but it appeared on the surface of all my thoughts. The division of property meant not only legal issues, but also the symbolic end of our life together. I decided that I had to deal with it myself, without Alex or anyone else. The lawyer's advice was clear. You need to be careful and keep all documents and evidence. I went to see a lawyer, and we began to deal with all the formalities. It was a stressful process, but I knew I had to go through it to finally close this chapter and make room for a new life. I decided that I would focus on the positive aspects and not let the past cloud my present. One day when I returned home after another meeting with the lawyer, I noticed that Alex was waiting for me with a surprise. He brought a big bouquet of flowers and an invitation for a little weekend trip. It was his attempt to show me that life can be joyful and full of new experiences, even in spite of all the difficulties. The trip was wonderful. We went to a small town near the sea where we spent a few days relaxing from the hustle and bustle of the city. We walked on the beach, enjoyed nature, and just spent time together. It was a real rest, and I felt that I could finally breathe freely. Alex became a source of stability and support for me. He helped me understand that I can be happy without the past that has held me back for so long. His love and care became important parts of my recovery. I felt much more confident at home. The distribution of property passed, and I was able to finally let go of the past. I was ready to refocus my life and try to find a new path. Alex and I continued to build our future together. We decided to take part in volunteer programs and engage in new hobbies together. It became a symbol of a new beginning for me, and I knew that although the past had left its mark, I could find happiness and love in a new life. Life continued to move forward, and I began to feel that I had finally found a rhythm. Alex and I became even closer, and I felt that our relationship could give me new hope and happiness. We worked together on new projects, including volunteering, which gave me the opportunity to make a positive difference in other people's lives. But as often happens, new challenges appeared. One day I received a message from an old friend, Sarah, who appeared in my life before everything went wrong. She wanted to meet and talk. I was worried because I didn't know what exactly she might want to say. However, I decided that I deserved this conversation because it was an important part of my life. We met at a coffee shop, and Sarah immediately started apologizing for not being there for me during the divorce. She revealed that she discovered some things about Jack that she didn't know before and realized that he was using her as part of his manipulative plan. It turns out that Jack has been in touch with her, trying to show that he still has some support for his plans. This discovery was another blow for me. I felt that Jack's betrayal not only broke my life, but also affected people I once considered close. Sarah explained that she found out about his plans and decided to get out of the situation because she did not want to be a part of this horror. Her openness really helped me, and I realized that I am not alone in this pain. Meeting Sarah was emotional, but I felt it helped me gain a new understanding of what had happened. We decided to resume our communication and support each other. It was important for me to know that I can hope for people, even when it seems that everything around me is falling apart. Despite all this, I continued to work on myself and my life. Alex and I embarked on new adventures together, and our lives became fuller and happier. We spent the summer traveling through cities, exploring new places, and finding new hobbies. But memories of Jack's betrayal still haunt me from time to time. I try not to let them control my life, and every time they appear, I remind myself that I have a new opportunity to live a happy and fulfilled life. I feel that recovery is an ongoing process, and I try to find strength and joy in each new day. My new reality is not only recovery, but also the discovery of new opportunities and communication with people who really appreciate and support me. I understand that my heart is not completely healed yet, but with time, I hope to find more peace and happiness in my new life. Summer passed quickly, and autumn brought with it new changes. Alex and I continued to enjoy our time together, and our lives seemed stable and harmonious. But with each change of season, my memories of Jack's betrayal wouldn't let go of me completely. I tried to be strong and focused, but sometimes thoughts about the past came back to me again and again. One day I received a new batch of documents from a lawyer. This was confirmation that the property division had been finalized, but with it came a letter from Jack's solicitors stating the possibility of an appeal. Disappointment and anxiety overwhelmed me. I thought I had finally said goodbye to this chapter, but it looked like it wasn't over yet. I decided to discuss it with Alex. I knew that I needed his support, and he was always a reliable support for me. When I showed him the letter, he expressed his concern and advised me to leave this matter to the shoulders of a lawyer so as not to worry one more time. We spent several evenings together, discussing various plans and hopes for the future. Alex planned a short-term trip to take my stress away and give me a chance to relax. He organized a trip to a mountain resort where we could enjoy nature and just be together without any worries. During our trip, I felt that I felt better again. The mountain views, clean air, and peaceful atmosphere helped me regain my energy. We walked along the paths, sat by the fire, talked about our dreams and plans. I felt that I could open my heart again and trust a person who really appreciates and understands me. When we returned, I felt that I had new strength and inspiration. Alex and I decided that we are ready to share the news with our loved ones and friends. We started planning a party together to celebrate our new beginning and show that we can be happy together. But as it often happens, life presents new challenges. Before the party, I received another letter from the lawyers. It turns out that Jack has filed for an appeal, seeking a review of the division of property due to an alleged misunderstanding. This again disturbed my mental balance and became an additional stress. Alex, although worried, continued to support me. He insisted that we should not allow these difficulties to spoil our plans and our relationships. He helped me keep my cool and not let it affect our holiday. The party went great. We met with friends and relatives who were happy to see us happy. It was an opportunity to celebrate our new stage in life and feel the support of people who really care about us. Now I feel that at least some of the pain is starting to recede. I continue to work on my recovery and try not to let the past control my present. Alex and I work together to make our lives even better and filled with positive moments. The party left me with pleasant memories and a feeling that life can be joyful and full of positivity despite difficulties. But, as often happens, new challenges did not take long. Choosing a new job was one such challenge. I decided to change my career and try myself in a new field. After the divorce, I realized that my previous occupation no longer brings me pleasure and does not correspond to my new values. I decided to take a course on a new profession, which helped me to feel myself again on the ground. However, not everything went smoothly. I spent a lot of time studying and looking for new opportunities, which sometimes caused tension in my relationship with Alex. He was very supportive and understanding of my aspirations, but sometimes my busy schedule and academic stress took a toll on our quality time together. I tried to be frank and open about my experiences in order to avoid misunderstandings. My new path turned out to be exciting, but also demanding. I got the opportunity to do an internship in one company, which allowed me to try a new profession in practice. It was a huge step for me, and I was excited about the opportunity to learn something new, but also stressed about the new responsibilities. One evening, after a hard day at the internship, I decided to call Sarah. We haven't spoken in a long time, and I felt the need to talk to someone who could understand my feelings. Sarah was very supportive and talked about how she copes with her life after all the difficulties. Her words inspired me and gave me new energy. Over time, I began to see the results of my efforts. I felt that my life was gaining meaning and direction again. My new job brought me satisfaction, and I felt that I was doing what I love. It was important to me because I was finally starting to find my place in the world. Alex continued to be my support. We began to find new ways to spend time together that did not require excessive investment of time and effort. For example, we visited local exhibitions, tried new recipes, and spent evenings at home with books or games. These moments became important for us, and I felt that we became closer again. Despite all the difficulties, I felt that my road to recovery was going in the right direction. I learned to accept new challenges as a part of life and realized that only I can control my happiness and recovery. My new stage in life has given me the opportunity to understand that I can be strong and independent, even when the past tries to impose itself. With the autumn coolness, stability has returned to our lives. I began to trust my new life more and felt that my efforts were beginning to bear fruit. Alex and I struggled together and found ways to support each other. Our relationship grew deeper, and I felt that I could open my heart again. One day, I received an invitation to an important professional conference held in another city. It was a big chance for me, and I decided to take it. Alex supported me, and together we planned a short vacation after the conference to enjoy the new city and spend time together. The conference was intense and exhausting, but I felt that it became an important part of my professional growth. I met many interesting people and got new ideas that inspired me. After the conference, we went on a short trip around the city. It was like a break from our daily lives, and I felt that it helped us become even closer. We walked the streets, visited local attractions, and enjoyed the atmosphere of a new place. But suddenly, when we were walking along one of the quiet streets at night, I saw a familiar face. It was Jack. I felt my heart beat faster and my hands began to shake. Alex noticed my reaction and asked what happened. I quickly explained that it was Jack. He immediately began to carefully lead me in the other direction to avoid meeting. I was grateful for his quick response, but the fear and anxiety stayed with me for the rest of the evening. This unexpected meeting made me think again about the past and all those emotions that I tried to leave behind. I didn't know what Jack was doing in this town, but it brought back my memories and my fears. I tried not to let it affect my mood, but it wasn't easy. When we got home, I shared my experiences with Alex. He was understanding and supportive in trying to help me deal with these emotions. We decided that we would work on this together and not let the past cloud our present life. I continued to focus on my career and developing new skills. I got some new projects that helped me feel good again. My new path brought me joy and satisfaction, and I learned to find a balance between work and personal life. Alex and I became even closer, and our relationship grew stronger through our joint efforts. We learned to handle any challenges that came our way and find joy in every moment together. Although the past sometimes reminded us, we learned not to let it affect our happiness. My life continued to change, and I felt that with each new day, I found more inner strength and peace. I learned to look to the future with hope and optimism, and hoped that this new life would bring even more joy and happiness. With new challenges and opportunities, life has become more interesting. My professional path continued to develop, and I felt more confident in my new role. My project was progressing successfully, and I received more and more positive feedback from colleagues and clients. It gave me a sense of accomplishment and gave me more confidence in my abilities. Alex and I continued to work on our relationship and find ways to support each other. We decided to participate together in various activities that calmed us down and brought us joy. For example, we started doing yoga and meditation together. It helped us to keep calm and find inner harmony in the midst of all difficulties. One evening, while we were relaxing after yoga, Alex shared with me the idea that we should start planning a longer trip. We had always dreamed of a trip to Europe, and he suggested that it might be a great opportunity to rest and recharge. The idea was exciting, and I felt it could be a great way to renew our relationship and create new memories. We started planning the trip and felt that it was adding new positive emotions to our lives. We picked a few cities we wanted to visit and started planning our itinerary. It became a real rest from everyday worries and gave us the opportunity to dream about something new and exciting. Meanwhile, another change appeared in my life. My ex-husband Jack began to appear actively in the news. His name is back in the headlines, but this time in the context of criminal investigations into his financial swindles. I was shocked and confused to learn about this. It reminded me that even though I try to move forward, my past can still affect my life. Alex was very understanding and supportive during this period. We discussed the news together and tried not to let these events cloud our relationship again. He helped me understand that I have a right to my own happiness and peace, and that my past should not control my present. We continued to prepare for the trip and find ways to stay positive. I felt that this trip could become a new chapter in our lives, which would help us to further strengthen our relationship and enjoy every moment together. Despite all the challenges we faced, I learned to find joy in the little things and appreciate moments of happiness. My new path gave me the opportunity to feel my strength and independence again. I knew that every day was an opportunity to create new memories and find new sources of joy. Preparations for our European trip were in full swing. We ordered tickets, booked hotels, and planned our route. I felt that this trip would not only help us escape from everyday problems, but also give us the opportunity to create new memories and find new sources of joy. Before leaving, I once again checked all the details, and we finally packed our suitcases. On the eve of our trip, I was full of anxiety and excitement. It was not just a vacation, but a symbol of our new beginning. I felt that Alex and I deserved this time for ourselves to restore our strength and connection. Arriving in Europe was full of excitement and wonder. Our first city was Paris, and we immediately fell in love with its charm. Walking along the Seine, visiting the Louvre, and simply sitting in small cafes became part of our daily schedule. It was a time when we could forget about everything that was bothering us and just enjoy the moment. But even during our journey, memories of the past sometimes visited me. I checked the news from time to time to find out about the latest developments related to Jack. It was difficult. I tried not to let this news affect our vacation, but it still remained in the back of my mind. One of the biggest surprises happened during our stay in Rome. We went on a tour of one of the historical sites, and as I looked around at the vast ancient ruins, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Jack. My heart beat faster again, and I felt anxiety wash over me. Alex noticed my reaction and asked what happened. I explained the situation again, and we decided to stay away from possible meetings with him. It was another stressful moment, but Alex was by my side, and his support helped me calm down again. We continued our vacation, trying not to let fears and anxieties affect our enjoyment of the trip. Our days were filled with new impressions and experiences, and we found joy in every moment together. I began to feel that this trip really helped us become even closer and strengthen our relationship. At the end of our trip, we returned home with a sense of accomplishment and new memories. I felt that our life was again filled with joy and meaning. My fears and anxieties haven't completely disappeared, but I've learned to deal with them better and find peace in every moment. Alex and I continued to work on our relationship and on ourselves. We understood that life can bring both joys and difficulties, but together, we can cope with any challenges. I felt that my heart was ready to open again to new possibilities and experiences. Returning home from Europe gave us the opportunity to look at our lives from a new perspective. With new experiences and memories, we both felt that our recovery from the past was even closer to completion. Now we could focus on new plans and opportunities that opened up before us. My career continued to flourish, and I received a new promotion offer, which was a confirmation of my efforts and new achievements. I was excited about the possibilities it opened up for me and realized that I was finally on the right track. However, along with this came a new workload that required even more time and energy. Alex was incredibly supportive and understood that this new role would require a lot of effort from me. He was always there, helping to organize our weekends and vacations so that I could find time for rest and recovery. We continued to plan new activities that helped us stay connected and maintain a work-life balance. One evening, when we were discussing the future, Alex brought up the possibility of buying his own home. We both felt it was time to create a new home that would symbolize our new beginning. After long discussions and thoughts, we decided to start looking for a new apartment. It was exciting, but also a little scary. We sought to find a place that would reflect our new shared values and plans for the future. While searching, we found a few options that we liked. Choosing a new apartment became a symbol of our growth and changes. This place was to become not just a physical space, but a new beginning where we could continue to build our lives together. At the same time, news about Jack continued to appear in the media. His situation became more and more difficult, and I continued to follow the news. Although I tried not to let it affect my life, it sometimes distracted me and reminded me of the past. However, I felt that I was able to control my emotions and not let them affect my happiness. Alex and I began to focus more on our future together and looking for ways to make our home comfortable and cozy. We spent several weekends unpacking boxes, organizing furniture, and decorating the new space. This was important to us, and every step in this process brought us joy and satisfaction. After all the difficulties and changes, I began to feel that my life is at a new stage. I felt confident and happy again, and this became possible thanks to Alex's support and new opportunities that appeared in my life. I learned to open myself up to happiness again and enjoy every moment regardless of all the challenges that came my way. Our new home has become a true symbol of our recovery. Every day we felt that it was becoming more and more ours, filling it with special moments and memories. However, even during periods of peace and joy, old fears and anxieties visited me from time to time. Our first big holiday in the new house, the New Year's party, became an important event for us. We invited some close friends and relatives to share this moment with us. The atmosphere of the holiday was extraordinary. After only a few hours of fun, I started to feel my fears creeping back in. The New Year's news was about Jack again, and it reminded me of all the things I was trying to avoid. Alex noticed that something was wrong and asked me about my concerns. I told him that the news about Jack was making me anxious and insecure again. He was extremely supportive and helped me deal with these emotions. Together, we decided to focus on the holiday and what we managed to achieve together. It helped me find peace again and enjoy the moment. Over the next few months, we continued to work on our home and focused on creating a cozy atmosphere. We also organized several small celebrations for friends and family, which added even more joy to our lives. It was a time when we could enjoy the little things and create new memories. My career continued to develop, and I felt that I had made significant progress. New projects and opportunities opened up before me, and I found great joy in my work. Alex also continued to support me, and together we planned new opportunities for our future together. However, my fears and anxieties reminded me again. I started receiving calls and messages from strangers that reminded me of the past and caused me anxiety. I was confused and did not know how to react to these situations. Alex was on my side again, and together we decided to go to the specialists to get professional help and support. We went through several therapy sessions, and it gave me new tools to deal with my emotions and fears. I learned to better understand my experiences and find ways to cope with them. It was a difficult process, but I felt myself becoming stronger and more confident with each session. As time went on, the news about Jack became less intense and I felt that my life was returning to normal. We continued to work on our home and our relationship, and it brought us joy and satisfaction. I felt that I could finally open myself up again to new possibilities and experiences. Our home became a place where we could find peace and happiness, and I learned to enjoy life again. Alex's support and our joint efforts helped us overcome difficulties and create a new beginning. I felt that my heart was ready to open again to love and joy, and I was grateful for everything we had been through together. Continuing our new life, we decided that it was time to take care of ourselves and our hobbies again. We've both always dreamed of traveling more, and after a few successful years in our new apartment, we decided it was time to plan another big trip. This time, we chose a trip to Japan, a country that has always fascinated us with its culture and beauty. Planning a trip has become a pleasant activity for us. We learned about Japanese culture, cuisine, and history, which added even more excitement for the upcoming trip. I felt how this perspective allowed me to break away from old fears and anxieties, filling my life with joy and positive emotions again. Preparing for the trip included many details, from booking tickets to choosing routes. We also picked a few cities that we wanted to visit, which included Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. This plan became our new passion, and we were looking forward to being able to implement these plans. Every day I felt that our relationship was getting stronger. Alex was extremely supportive and attentive. We spent a lot of time together planning the trip and discussing future plans. It helped us reconnect with each other and regain the closeness we once had. However, even during these pleasant moments, old anxieties sometimes made themselves felt. I was getting messages from strangers again, and it became a source of stress for me. I discussed these situations with Alex, and he helped me understand that we shouldn't let these anxieties affect our happiness. We decided to turn to a specialist together who helped us find effective ways to cope with emotions. It was important for our psychological health, and we realized that it was part of our recovery process. When the date for our trip arrived, we were thrilled. Japan welcomed us with its unique atmosphere. Visiting temples in Kyoto, walking the streets of Tokyo, and enjoying Japanese cuisine became part of our new adventure. Every day was filled with new experiences and joys, and I felt my heart opening again to new possibilities. The trip was a great way to relax and find joy in every moment again. We enjoyed new experiences and memories that became important parts of our life together. When we returned home, we felt that this was an important step in our journey together. Our new experience helped us to further strengthen our relationship and restore faith in our own strength. I learned to find joy in every moment and felt again that my life has meaning and is filled with happiness. After returning from Japan, we felt that our life had gained a new rhythm again. The trip gave us the opportunity not only to enjoy wonderful places, but also to become even closer. We returned home with new memories and impressions that became an important part of our shared history. Our new home was now even more filled with positive energy. We continued to improve it, adding new decor elements and making it more cozy. It became our joint project that helped us stay focused on the positives and create new traditions. I continued to work on my career, and new opportunities that appeared brought me joy and satisfaction. My achievements at work helped me to feel confident in my abilities again. But even with this progress, old fears sometimes tried to resurface. One day, I received a letter that made my heart beat faster again. It was an anonymous letter saying that my past was not over and that someone was still watching me. I was in a panic and decided to share it with Alex immediately. Alex was incredibly supportive and understanding. Together, we decided to go to the police and report this letter. It helped me to feel that I am not alone and that we can overcome any difficulties together. The police started an investigation, and I hoped it would help find out where these threats were coming from. During this period, Alex became my stumbling block. We spent more time together, trying to distract ourselves from stressful situations and enjoy life again. He organized for us romantic evenings at home where we could relax and forget about all worries. These moments helped me feel safe again and find peace. As the investigation continued, I felt that Alex's support and our joint efforts helped me overcome these difficulties. We continued to work on our home and our relationship, and it gave us strength and inspiration. One evening, As we sat on our new terrace and looked at the stars, I felt that despite all the difficulties, we had managed to create our little island of happiness in the midst of the storm. Alex held my hand, and in the darkness of our backyard, I found peace and joy in simple things. Shortly after that evening, the police investigation began to bear fruit. I received a message from a detective that the letters I have been receiving are from someone who is trying to create a sense of fear and anxiety in me. This person, as it turned out, was from a group of people who had trouble with the law, but had not yet been arrested. I felt that maybe it was an attempt to manipulate my emotions. In parallel with this, our life continued to be filled with joy and new memories. We planned several new activities together that helped us feel alive and joyful again. Alex and I decided to take part in volunteer projects, which added new meaning and purpose to our lives. Helping others has become another way for us to find joy and satisfaction. One of the important events of our life was connected with the celebration of our one-year anniversary in the new house. We organized a small party for close friends and family to mark the occasion. It was a day filled with laughter, love, and warmth. We discussed our plans for the future and shared happy memories of our year in our new home. Among the guests was my friend Jennifer, who helped me in difficult times and was always there for me. She noticed that I had changed a little, and when we were alone, she asked about my feelings. I told her about how I was learning to deal with my anxiety and how Alex's support had helped me get my life back on track. Jennifer was happy that I had found a way to peace and happiness. We again found time for ourselves and for our hobbies. I continued to work on my project at work, and Alex was engaged in his creative activities. These moments of self-expression helped us both find new sources of joy and inspiration. But even at this time, I realized that true strength lies in the ability to find peace and happiness within oneself, regardless of external circumstances. And although sometimes fears and anxieties can visit again, I have learned to understand that they do not define my life. We continued to work on our relationship, improving it and finding new ways to support each other. Alex and I became even closer, and our shared dream of a happy and fulfilled life became our reality. With the beginning of spring, our life again took on new colors. The days were getting warmer, and we started spending more time outdoors. The nature around our house blossomed, and it was a great opportunity for us to go out for walks again and enjoy moments together. One such weekend, we went on a picnic to a local park. It was a beautiful day, and we decided to enjoy the simple joys, eating outdoors, playing on the grass, and talking about the future. The picnic was a great opportunity for us to take a break from work and worries and feel the joy of small moments together. However, I could not help but notice that the past sometimes made itself felt. Several times I received calls and messages that were not particularly threatening, but reminded me of old fears. I always discussed this with Alex, and his support was very important to me. Soon after the picnic, we went on a weekend to a mountain resort. We spent several days surrounded by natural beauty, enjoying the views and silence. This trip was a great way to regain strength and find peace. We walked along numerous trails, amazed by the majesty of nature, and spent evenings by the fireplace, telling each other about our dreams and plans for the future. In the mountains, I felt again how important it is to keep a positive attitude and find joy in simple things. I've learned that even when fears come back, there are many ways to focus on the positive aspects of life and find happiness in the small joys. When we returned home, I decided to start a new project for my hobby, which had been on the back burner for a long time. I started writing, creating short stories and articles that allowed me to pour out my thoughts and emotions. It became for me a way of self-expression and an opportunity to find joy and creativity again. Alex, in turn, also found a new way to express his creativity. He started painting, and this helped him find a new source of inspiration. We both felt that these new hobbies helped us to open up to the world again and find joy in each day. As time passed, we continued to focus on our plans and new dreams together. Gradually, the past became less intrusive, and we were able to focus on the present and the future. Our relationship grew stronger, and we began to feel true happiness together again. Our new home became a place where we found peace and joy, and I felt that my life was filled with meaning and happiness again. We continued to work on ourselves and our relationship, and every day was an opportunity to find new ways to be happy and enjoy life. After several months of recovery and stability, our life took a new turn. One morning, when I was checking my messages, I noticed that an anonymous email had reappeared in my email inbox. This time it read simply, "I'm still here." This letter immediately caused me anxiety and fear. I discussed this with Alex, and he was very supportive as usual. We decided to contact the police again to inform them of new threats. Although it was very frustrating, I felt it was the best thing we could do to ensure our safety. The police were in contact and continued to work on the investigation. I began to feel that I was in control of the situation again, and this helped me to find peace again. Alex and I decided not to let these threats ruin our lives and continued to enjoy our moments together. Despite the anxiety, we didn't want to stop living our lives. We decided to organize a small trip to Europe, to visit several cities that we always wanted to see. This trip was an opportunity for us to take a break from stress and find joy in new experiences again. Visiting Paris, Rome, and Barcelona was an exciting and inspiring experience. We wandered the streets, enjoyed the local cuisine, and explored the cultural sites. These moments together helped us to reconnect and feel the joy of simple things again. In Europe, we celebrated our 5th anniversary together, and it became an important moment for us. We spent this day in Paris, at the Eiffel Tower, where we exchanged promises to always be there for each other, regardless of the circumstances. It was a very moving and emotional event that reminded us of how important it is to support and love each other. After returning home, we continued to focus on the positive aspects of life. I received support from a therapist and was on the road to full recovery. Alex and I continued to work on our relationship and find new ways to enjoy life together. One evening, during one of our romantic evenings at home, we decided to celebrate how far we had come. We talked about all the difficulties we had overcome together and how they made us stronger. Alex expressed his deep gratitude to me for the fact that I was always there and supported him in the most difficult moments. These conversations and moments of intimacy helped us strengthen our relationship even more. We felt that our life together was gaining pace and joy again. After everything we've been through, we were grateful to have each other and to be able to make new memories together. We continued to look for new opportunities to travel, explore new interests, and grow. Our life became a real source of joy and satisfaction, and I felt that I had finally found a balance between the past and the present. We learned to cherish every moment together and not let our fears and anxieties control our lives. Alex and I noted that every month our life becomes more stable and joyful. The old fears were no longer so intrusive, and we were able to focus again on building a happy and fulfilling life together. One day, I received an email from the Institute of Psychology, where I was invited to speak at a conference dedicated to overcoming anxiety and stress. It was a great achievement for me and an opportunity to share my experience with others. I decided to accept the invitation because it could be a chance to help other people who are going through similar difficulties. Alex was very supportive, and we started preparing for the event together. I worked on my talk, carefully preparing the material and talking about my road to recovery. It was emotionally challenging, but also very therapeutic. Preparing for the conference took a lot of time, but it also gave me new meaning and purpose. I felt that my story could help other people find hope and strength to fight their difficulties. Alex helped me every step of the way, and it strengthened our bond. The conference was a success, and I received a lot of positive feedback from the participants. It became an important moment for me because I felt that I could help others and do something meaningful. Alex and I celebrated this achievement with dinner at one of our favorite restaurants. After the conference, we decided to rest a bit and enjoy the moments together again. We organized a short trip to Norway to enjoy the natural beauty of the fjords and mountains. This trip was full of peace and wonderful experiences and helped us to find inspiration and energy again. In Norway, we spent time wandering the trails, admiring the waterfalls, and just enjoying nature. We also visited several small towns and met local people, which added new colors to our trip. After returning home, we felt that we were again ready to take on new projects and plans. My reports and speeches at conferences became part of my work, and I received many requests to participate in further events. Alex and I were also planning new trips and dreaming of future adventures. We continued to work on our relationship, supporting each other and finding new ways to maintain romance and intimacy. Our relationship has become a source of strength and joy for us, and I felt that together we can cope with any difficulties. Every day became an opportunity to find joy and meaning in our lives again. We continued to cherish the simple moments and build our future together. And although life sometimes brought new challenges, we learned to cope with them and find happiness in every day. After our trip to Norway, life became more intense and full again. I continued to speak at conferences, and my topics on overcoming anxiety and stress attracted more and more attention. My work has become an important part of my life, and I get great satisfaction from being able to help other people. Alex and I were very grateful that we found a path to happiness and peace together. Our relationship became even stronger, and we continued to find joy in the little moments together. One day, Alex suggested to organize the celebration of our next anniversary in a new style. He wanted to create a special evening to celebrate all our achievements and changes. We decided to spend this evening on the beach. Alex organized a romantic dinner in the open air, with lamps that softly illuminated our faces, and with music that created an atmosphere of comfort. It was a great opportunity to take a break from everyday life and refocus on each other. The evening was extremely emotional and moving. We remembered all the important moments we had together and celebrated how much we were able to achieve. Alex prepared a special gift. He created an album with all our photos and memories that we have collected over the years. It was a very personal and touching gesture that showed how much he valued our moments together. After that evening, we felt that our relationship was even stronger. We continued to work on our interests and projects, and every day became a new chance for us to enjoy life again. Our common dream of a happy and fulfilling life has become a reality. One day I received an offer to write a book about my experience of overcoming anxiety and stress. It was a great achievement for me, and an opportunity to share my journey with an even larger audience. I agreed to this offer and started working on writing the book. Alex was very supportive and helped me through the process, providing me with a calm and inspiring environment to work in. While writing the book, we also continued to plan new trips and activities. We discussed plans for the future, including the possibility of buying a new home or starting our own business. Our dreams and ambitions became an important part of our lives, and we looked forward to new opportunities and adventures. One evening, after finishing another chapter of the book, we decided to spend some time together, just enjoying the peace and quiet of our home. We sat on the couch, wrapped ourselves in blankets, and looked at old photos, remembering all the moments that made our lives special. This time together helped us feel again the depth of our love and support for each other. We discussed our plans for the future and shared dreams about how we would like to spend our lives. These conversations helped us to further strengthen our connection and inspired us for new achievements. Our life took a new turn after I started working on the book. The process of writing was not only therapeutic, but also opened up new horizons for self-development. I felt that my thoughts and experiences were taking a new form and could be useful for other people who have gone through similar difficulties. Alex continued to be my biggest supporter. He helped me not only with the practical aspects of writing, but also morally supported me in moments of doubt. We reviewed manuscripts together, discussed new ideas, and planned how best to present the material. An important moment was approaching, the first public reading of my book. This event was very important for me, and I felt that it would be a decisive step in my career. Alex organized a small celebratory event for me, to which he invited our close friends and family. It was a real holiday, filled with emotions and support. On the day of the event, I felt my heart beat faster with excitement. However, after seeing the support and admiration of my loved ones, I found strength and focused. I read an excerpt from the book, and it was extremely moving. The room was full of applause and support, and I felt so grateful to have such a great team behind me. After the event, we celebrated with all our friends. It was a real holiday, and we enjoyed every moment. Alex made a special surprise. He prepared a video with congratulations from those who could not attend in person. It was very touching and made me realize how many people appreciate and support me. After this success, life again took on a new rhythm. My book received positive reviews, and I began to receive requests for interviews and lectures. It was extremely exciting and at the same time disturbing because I was new to this field. Alex and I continued to work on our plans and dreams. We decided to take on a new project, to open a small coffee shop that would reflect our hobbies and lifestyle. It was a big step, but we felt ready for new challenges. Preparing for the opening of the coffee shop took several months, and this time was filled with planning, choosing a design, and creating a menu. Our plans began to take shape, and we eagerly awaited the moment of discovery. We also continued to enjoy moments together, travel, and activities together. One day, after a particularly busy week, we took a short trip to the coast. It was a great opportunity to rest and regain strength before important events. During the trip, we spent time on the beach, walking along the coast and enjoying the simple joys. It was a great way to recover and find peace again. After this trip, we returned home with new energy and enthusiasm for further work on our project. The opening day of our coffee shop was approaching, and we were excited with anticipation. All preparations were completed, and we hoped that this would be a new beginning for us. We planned a celebration and opening, inviting all our friends and family to share this important moment with them. The last few weeks before the opening of our coffee shop were very busy. We continued to work on every detail, making sure everything would be perfect. Alex and I spent many nights working late, discussing the final touches and deciding all the little things. Finally, opening day arrived. We were happy and worried at the same time. Before starting, we decided to hold a morning rehearsal to check all the details and make sure everything was in place. When the first guests started arriving, I felt my excitement gradually turn into joy. People started to fill our space, and I could see the smiles on their faces as they savored our drinks and snacks. It was a real pleasure to see how our dreams become reality and how our coffee shop becomes a part of people's lives. Alex and I were constantly busy trying to keep up with everything from customer service to inventory management. The first day was incredibly successful. Everyone was happy, and the feedback was mostly positive. This gave us great confidence and motivation to continue. When the evening finally came, we were able to rest a little and thank each other for everything that had been done. We celebrated this important milestone in our lives together. After the opening of the coffee shop, our life acquired a new rhythm. We continued to work on improving our business, listening to customer feedback and looking for ways to improve our service. Alex and I became even closer because every day brought new challenges and joys. We also found time to enjoy life outside of work. They continued to travel, discover new places, and spend time with friends and family. The relationship between us became even stronger because we went through all the difficulties and victories together. Our business continued to grow, and we began to receive requests for various events such as parties and business meetings. This gave us the opportunity to integrate even more into the community and become an important part of local life. A few months after the opening of the coffee shop, we organized a special event, the celebration of the first anniversary of our business. It was a symbolic celebration celebrating our achievements and thanking everyone who supported us on this journey. Alex and I decided to make this day as special as possible. We invited all our friends, family, and regular customers to share this important moment with us. The evening was filled with music, laughter, and joy. We prepared a special menu and organized several entertainments for guests. Everything was decorated in our favorite style, and it created an atmosphere of warmth and comfort. At the end of the celebration, I stood in front of the guests and thanked everyone for their support. My words were filled with emotions and gratitude for the fact that I was able to realize my dream together with the person I love. Alex also expressed his gratitude and shared his thoughts on how important it is to have someone who believes in you. As the evening drew to a close, I felt that we had achieved real success not only in business, but also in our life together. We went through many difficulties, but our joint efforts and support for each other helped us become stronger. The importance of every moment together and the lessons we learned along the way have become invaluable to us. We have learned to appreciate the simple joys of life and not to let difficulties prevent us from living life to the fullest. If I have anything to say at the end of our story, it is that life is a journey filled with both joys and challenges. But when there is love and support, even the greatest difficulties become an opportunity for growth and self-realization. Alex and I continued our life with new strength and faith that there will be many more beautiful moments ahead. And although our journey was filled with both tears and laughter, it showed us how important it is to stay together and support each other every step of the way.